Hello there my fellow Holotable heroes and welcome to another Conquest video guide. Now you've probably noticed that we had a game update last night, so in this video I want to go through and check those fixes that CG implemented, whether they were really fixed or not, and also show you then the new team that can get some of those feats done. Mainly the main fixes around here were the Sector 2 boss fights, whereas before you could just go in with somebody like Hermit Yoda or Mon Mothma lead, you would enter the battle, they would escape and you would automatically be granted win with the Undersize squad. Now this was the strategy that we had to employ because you weren't able to do it the proper way. If you did it the proper way and you went with Undersize and you wanted to win this, essentially once you come to the last enemy, that enemy would just be immortal and you wouldn't be able to finish the battle. So apparently this is now fixed, so definitely have a look at this in the video. They've also fixed the issue with the Dread data discs that was not progressing towards that global feat where you have to defeat enemies by using Dread disc 20 times. Again, I'll be showing you how I was able to get this feat done very easily. And finally, let's talk about the final point here. So they corrected the issue again where in Sector 2 final boss, where if enemies were dying off from thermal detonators and damage over times, it would not count correctly towards the win. Now later on they did actually add this note, won't take effect until next Conquest. So initially this wasn't there, but probably some people still reported issues, so this will have to wait until the next. So mainly it's around Sector 2 final boss, there are bugs that we had and the Dread data disc. And for the final thing in this video, I want to also test out the mini boss as well with HK, where HK is the mini boss, because somebody in comments said that they were having issues, you know, doing the full Inquisitor battles there versus HK, just because HK would revive when defeated. So definitely want to put that to test as well and show you what I found out. But anyway, let's first now kick off here Sector 2 here final boss battle. Now before I go into, obviously let me show the data disc. I'm running my usual set here with 2 Amplify Agony data disc, Unstable Decelerator, Critical Formation, Ability Exhaust and Volatile Accelerator. So it's pretty much my default data disc set in this Conquest. So here we go. I'm gonna show you what we did before to get the Undersize feat done. You just went in with somebody like Hermit Yoda, 3PO Watt or Mon Mothma, and they would just escape the battle and you would be instantly granted victory with an Undersize squad. Now they fixed it, as you can see, this no longer ended up in a victory, but it ended up in a defeat. Now if you haven't completed this Undersize feat yet, now you can actually do it the proper way. Just take any Undersize team in there and you should be good to go here. So I'm just kind of putting a Jedi team here because I had him already loaded up, but I'm sure there are many teams that can get this done because, to be honest, enemies here in Sector 2, they're very easy to take down. Alright, let's jump in, and also want to pay attention to the damage over times, because remember they said damage over times would not count towards the feat, but from my observation it seemed to work okay. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. It's hard to verify because obviously I completed the 5 victor feat already. So here you go, the usual stuff. Just have to take down first enemies. As you can see, I'm applying their damage over times because of Volatile Accelerator data disc. Alright, down goes Twitch, and there you go, I was granted a stack of victors. So this to me looks like it's working okay. I'm not sure. Let's just keep going. There we go, I got another stack of victor on Yoda. Okay, Anakin, another stack of victor. So now just down to Jedi Knight Luke. Okay, so this is where I pause. When Bendak takes a turn, he will die from damage over time, and Jedi Knight Luke there was granted another stack of victors. So to me it looks like it works. It's been fixed, the whole damage over time issue. I'm not sure, it's hard to verify, so we'll have to check it out in the next Conquest. Now let's talk about the Dread data disc. So you get this data disc as a reward when you defeat 100 enemies with either Malak or Darth Revan. And once you have the data disc, you have the Power of the Dark Side global feat where you have to defeat enemies with Dread 20 times. Now this was before bugged, it didn't count, so now it's been fixed. So I just want to show you how I completed it. It took me 4 battles to get it done without even trying too hard, to be honest. Now anyway, because you know still have that global feats with where you have to win 40 battles with a full Sith Empire and a full Old Republic teams. What I was doing them, I was here farming those wins quite easily here on Sector 1 mini boss. Very easy and straightforward. So I just essentially unequipped all the data discs there that apply some sort of debuffs, because you don't want enemies dying from thermal detonators, burning, or damage over times. So just left critical formation there for some extra protection recovery, probably not really needed, and just left the dread data disc on. That's all what I had it equipped. I don't want anything else getting in the way of slowing down this feat. And then it was pretty straightforward. As mentioned before, I needed 4 battles, so let me first show you one of the Old Republic battles. So just going with those guys now. Zalbar and all the other Old Republic guys, they are applying damage over times, so the only other option was my gear ATT3. I'm like, you know, let's just roll it and see what happens. And here, as you're going through, you will see whenever one of your guys gets a turn, they will apply, there we go, random fear and plague on an enemy. It's totally random. So in order for you to get as many of these per battle as possible, just kind of spread the damage, stall the battle, and let the fear spread. And then whenever obviously the fear expires, or when you hit somebody with fear, they will get some damage from this dread data disc, and they have to die from this damage. That's why I kind of decided to a little bit spread the damage here. So there you go. I procced a couple of fears there, so did some damage there to these guys. Obviously wasn't enough to take them out. So again, spreading the damage here. Not just, you know, need to make sure I get as many turns as I can with my guys. Going after Sith Marauder, he's a menace. Okay, just basic over there, just speeding up the footage, but it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. Like I said before, just kind of do your Old Republic and Sith Empire battles. I'm pretty sure at this point we will still need to get 40 of those done. And, you know, like I said, I did, I think, 3 battles with the Old Republic. So there you go. This time the enemy did die from this dread data disc. So just slow down that you can see. So yeah, I just did 3 Old Republic battles. I'm just showing you one of them here, and then 1 Sith Empire battle, and that was enough to get these feats done. So again, you know, it's just kind of that happens naturally as you're knocking out these global feats. So you can even leave this to the end, first playthrough for all the 5 sectors, get those feats done, and when you come to farming these Old Republic and Sith Empire feats as well, you can just kind of do it like this with, and along the way equip Dread Data Disc, and this will allow you, obviously, there we go, to get quite a few done. Yeah, so I needed 4 battles, as mentioned before. Was straightforward, didn't even have to try too hard, just kind of spreading the damage, not trying to immediately take somebody out, because, you know, you want to a little bit stall the battles. There we go. After this one battle that I showed you, I got 7, and then I did another one, I got 3 and 5, and then Sith Empire in the end finished off the deal to get me to 20. So it really depends a little bit on RNG, but because I still had, I think, I needed to do 8 Old Republic battles, 8 Old Sith Empire battles to reach that 40. You know, it doesn't even matter, do I average 2, 3 per battle? It doesn't really matter. I'm just kind of knocking these out as I'm going along. Sith Empire, so we'll do similar like with the Old Republic, just kind of trying to spread the damage. Now I didn't bring Marauder in and HK, because obviously they can hit too hard. Just kind of bring in the other guys, and again here we just kind of spreading the damage. Obviously here is hard really to figure out in terms of fear. Do also the standard fear from Darth Revan as well count for the dread for this feat or not? I wasn't sure, but same thing as before. I was just kind of, you know, spreading my damage around, trying to get as many turns as I can. So I didn't proc that death mark on the Sith soldier, so see if we can get him out. I wasn't quite enough. He died of something, not sure what. But yeah, in the end, you know, this completed finally as well. So there we go, pretty straightforward. You don't even have to try that hard. Let's go and have a look. Almost down, finished Marauder. Wild Lightning wasn't quite enough to finish off there. Oh, I actually took out my Malak. Yeah, I was struggling with stamina here. So my Malak was a bit squishy, but still, you know, here on this mini boss battle you can get quite easily done here in Sector 1, even with the low stamina. And there you go, this was the 4th battle I did, and I completed my Dread global feat as well. So then I just went ahead and removed this data disk and put on my standard usual data discs set. So speaking of my data disk set, let me now go to the final battle that I want to show you. Well, it's really 2 battles. This is when in one of my previous comments somebody mentioned that HK here, the mini boss in Sector 5, revives. Because obviously my guide I showed you with a combination of this data disk set, so just my standard usual Amplify Agony, volatile accelerator data. This said, I was able to win with a full squad of Gear 8 Inquisitors, but a person in comment mentioned, hey, HK revived for him, what's going on? So I did some testing because I tried it a few times and never happened, so I was really playing it. I did like 4 or 5 times until HK finally revived, but this is what normally would happen. You know, they would take a couple of these low gear Inquisitors out, and then you can just do a couple of AoEs, and because of Amplify Agony, Data Disc and Volatile Accelerator, you know, you get your win here for the Sector 5 feat, where you have to win 14 battles with Inquisitors. Now let me show you the battle when HK did revive, so it definitely can happen. Now what to me this looks like, because if you remember, before Darth Revan was added to the game and HK was reworked to work better with Darth Revan, so there you go, HK came back, did an AoE, and then, you know, HK then totally destroys your low gear Inquisitors. So what looks like to me is, yeah, that basically they loaded the HK pre-Darth Revan rework, because before HK got rework, maybe for new players you might not be aware of this, but for us, you know, long-time players, HK, you know, one of his abilities, whenever he was defeated for the first time in the battle, he had some chance, I don't exactly remember the percentage, it was like, if you have it maxed out, I think it was 75% chance or something like that, to revive when defeated for the first time in battle. So what to me this looks like is that they loaded that old HK here, not the HK we know. Is this a bug? Is this working as intended? I don't know, because obviously we have no way of checking HK's abilities in the game. But yeah, with some testing I figured it out why this is happening. So if you're trying that and HK does come back and ruins your day, just know from my testing it happened like 1 out of 4 times that it was revived. So you'll just have to do a few extra battles if you do have low gear Inquisitors like I do and you want to get this feat completed here in Sector 5 as well. Now my guess is what happened was, because those droids that were along HK, they were from the Revan unlock event, so maybe they just kind of pulled, you know, the mechanics from that event into here, and that's why also HK is old, before Darth Revan was released, before we got reworked. I don't know, what do you guys think? Why HK here? Why HK here has a revive unlike the one we have in the game? Thank you for watching, guys. I hope this video was useful and helpful, just going through some latest changes to the Conquest CG made last night and just clarifying that things looks like have been fixed. Let me know how you guys are getting on, but until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you.